Welcome to Nucleus Indications video tutorial. This video will guide you through the process of configuring indications in your control system. This video assumes that you are currently running the Nucleus developer application with the development project open as shown at the bottom of the screen. The most crucial step after defining communications is correctly configuring the I/O for your control system. Select the Tools menu or the Shortcut button, and then select the menu item, Define Indications.
In the previous communications video, we highlighted the Allen Bradley PLC browsing option for defining I/O. This link was added to show how indications are defined from inside the Logix PLC. Let's select the AB2 indication source. As expected, we have no indications defined for this new link when the PLC Browse feature has been selected. We need to connect to the PLC and select the indications we want to monitor. Note that when this source is selected, the new button on the left is now shown as the Browse button. The PLC IP address being used was defined in the Communications Builder for the link. Select this Browse button to connect to the PLC. Watch closely as we demonstrate the features provided within this PLC Browse window. The OPC protocols also provide a browse feature, but this is automatically provided and does not require a setting in the Communications Builder. In this example, we have an OPC UA server simulator on our desktop. Watch closely as we connect to this server and select indications to add to our communications. Most other protocols are register-based. You could leave the I/O names as automatically created, but it is more helpful to rename these variables prior to development. This adds a new level of clarity when defining displays, alarms, and other functions of the control system. We will now detail all the settings available within the indications window.
The light blue backgrounds in this dialog window show the areas that cannot be directly edited. The purple backgrounds indicate the points that can be format changed to digital or analog depending on the current assignment. Now we'll maximize the window to make it easier to see more data points. Many types of indications can be added or removed from this list depending on what those indications represent. For instance, the alarms and calculated values shown on the screen are configured in their respective window interfaces and cannot be edited here. But these are also indications that the system can use in graphical displays. As a result, they are also shown here as indications. Only user-defined indications can be added or cloned or removed from this list via this interface. However, user-defined indications can be helpful when choosing to show or hide graphics or control menus depending on various conditions set by the developer. You can actually change the state of internal indications using the graphical control features. The log settings, which default to yes, indicate that this point is logged into history anytime the value changes in the system. If you don't want this data point logged in history, then set the value to no. Notice how we have the counter indication log set to no, so this data point doesn't get recorded in history every time the value changes. In this video, we wish to change the names and descriptions of the I/O to represent more meaningful data to the builder and users of the control system. And inside this indication windows, we can do that. In the first column for the indications coming from the source AB1, we'll change both the name and description of the point. Be sure not to include spaces in the indication names, or you will get a prompt that spaces are not allowed. On the other hand, descriptions can include spaces. Instead of saving these changes, we'll cancel them to show how the values are reset to the original values. We could have changed all the names and descriptions of all our indications within this window by simply typing them in. And when the list is short, or only one or two indications need changes, this is the easiest method. However, in this case, we'll demonstrate a feature to allow a large group of changes to be made more quickly. Both filters at the top of the screen set to all. Select the Export button so you can alter our I/O names and descriptions using Microsoft Excel. Of course, you'll need to have Excel installed on your computer to maximize the use of our feature. The file name is created for you, and the directory has been pre-selected to place the export into the directory representing the project you have open. Press the Save button to export the indications to your computer as a CSV file. This is a standard comma delimited format. Now we'll open the exported file with Excel and move the columns to better view the data. We also have the PLC export open in Excel, so we're taking advantage of the fact that all of the points named within the PLC can easily and quickly be copied into our control system. In our case, we're only changing the indication names and descriptions, and you have to be careful where you paste these to make sure you are overriding the correct points in your list. At this point, we have made the modifications to the CSV file, and we will close the file and save our changes. Return to the developer and import the indications. Now we can see the CSV that we just modified. Double-click the file to open it. When the dialog appears, select Yes to confirm the import. This could take several minutes if thousands of I/O points are imported. But once this process is completed, you will see that all of the names and descriptions of the indications have been changed. Now, let's verify that all the points are named correctly. If they are, then select the Save button to save these changes to the indications. Now, this is important to remember. Once you have named all of your I/O points, do not change the format from digital to analog because it will remove the additional indications and thus remove your names and descriptions with them. Also, if you change your communication words in the Communications Builder, then that action will rebuild indications you have previously set up here. So if you make any change to communications that require indications to be recreated, then you will have to import again to name your points. So bear this in mind. So to summarize, naming your I/O points should be one of the final steps in defining the I/O for your control system. Naturally, you can have changed these named points at any time, but if you've assigned name indications in your alarms or graphical icon expressions and you change them in the indications interface, you will need to be aware that a little rework would be required to make your I/O match again. To see the impact of our indication changes, let's open the Communications Builder and test communications links for CS01. For the Allen Bradley link, we will see the new I/O for the device. Repeat the export step on controls to name them as well. While this might seem a little tedious, you should only have to do this once. As you can see, it helps to know your I/O in advance, so this can eliminate any rework. This concludes the Nucleus Indications tutorial. Be sure to watch other tutorial videos to better learn all of the features of the Nucleus Developer System.